This is a nice Hyundai, probably made in Korea.
This is the 6th floor. The door is opening.
But I'm probably not sure.
5th floor going down. The door is closing. Level B.
Cold cancel does not exist.
This is the 5th floor. The
Nice.
door is opening.
Epic cab.
Going down. Going down.
What type is this?
The door is closing.
Yeah, probably. Let's leave it. Wow. Kuwait is beautiful. Like I said on the slides. I'm at 5th floor. What the? Which one should I take? Oh, hell no. I think that one is coming. Hyundai. Probably would do a little bit of tomfoolery. Yes, this has anti-nuisance mode, if you're wondering. I believe this might be made in Korea, but I don't know if it's also made in China.
This is level B. The door is opening.
Basement door? No chains. Probably would exit.
Level N. Going up. The door is closing. 6th floor. 5th floor. 4th floor. 3rd floor. 2nd floor. 4th floor.
Sorry for being a nuisance. Hitachi's? Wow. Probably hold the doors when inactive. Quite stuff waiting floors. This is made in Thailand. Here we are. Only 4 beeps. 18F. This one has no concierge. So it was a joke getting inside. Anyways, the cab is quite basic. Yeah, it's when you, it's like this one thing to this. Like, yeah, what's the point of 2 panels if there's only 1 indicator? I mean, yeah, I get that. Quality problems. I wonder. Yeah. Sigma. I'm quite sick of those. Otis. And memos. functioning as anti-nuisance. Made by Lotus, but it's Sigma. It looks like maybe it could be the ones that are not. Maybe it could be the ones that are like made in China. The cab is like mirror. They think that's posh. I think it ain't posh. It's just fucking weird. Like, who even calls this posh? It's not even posh or amazing or luxury. It's just a basic cab, but they label it as posh. You're popping generics that they modded. Feels fucking cheap. Only one person at the lift time. Probably capacity would be per person 200 kilogram. Lifts look like it's like maybe it used to be in it, or so maybe it had automatic doors. I don't know. F. Fucking dangerous lifts. Those lifts are cheap. Fucking cheap. They love mirror caps. It's like, yeah. And when you do this, it just triggers the door open button when you trigger the sensor. It's like it's so cheap that this one is even cheaper than Chinese generics. Even though it's like Chinese generics, this one is literally cheaper. It felt lazy. Looks like no one was here. Hey, I should stop. Like this one's probably a dead one. Schindler MC's button in a generic. What are they on? Like they have this cheap ass floor indicator on the inside, but the LCD one. Probably not even a true Schindler. What a Schindler. It's like the calculating panel is like it had the old matrix, while on the outside it's something else. The cab's boring. It's quite so cheap. This is Schindler's, not for a generic. Weirdest lift I've seen. Probably will be epic. There's something weird. Lift doesn't work. Amazing. Yay, Schindler. Like seriously, it's a hydraulic. Probably my iconic castle, I don't know. Yeah, that's all these pictures. I could even hear them. Epic. What the hell is that supposed to be? Oh yeah. Maybe. It's probably a strange one. Yep, locked. Epic. M series as well. Probably one of the best lifts in Kuwait. Which one is which? That's on. Hazan series was an analog indicator. Fully touch. Is this passenger or is it service lift? I don't know. But I know that the indicator is like burned out or something. It's like I was lucky that I found an actual old lift. Fast doors, amazing. And this is where the indicator gets burned out. Nice not. I think this is attraction. Here we are. Another generic. And then you did this. Amazing. Mishtak. It's actually Arabic. I think. Farmers. I don't speak Arabic. So maybe I cannot tell the difference between those. Wow. This looks like they lazily modded. It's like they slap on generic parts to old lifts and call it a fucking day. Wow. It's like it's an actual old lift, but they just slapped the new fixtures. Okay, that ain't Arabic. At least this is epic. Who wonder what capacitors most Kuwaiti tracks do not have? Yay! Made in China, Otis! Like seriously, I believe this might be made in China. Could be an Otis 3200, I don't know. Maybe a Gen 2. Probably my least favorite. Yeah, probably in 3200. Has a machine room, I guess. No cabinet on the top floor. Wow, it's quite fast. What lift this is? That's right, a Chinese generic. Yay! Buttons could be scarier. I don't know, but still. Let's change if I get it to Chinese generic. You may think the name's Japanese. You're wrong, it's Chinese. The call cancel trick prevents the door from opening. It's a Chinese generic, what do you expect? I mean, yes, the logic is actually better than Kuwaiti generics because it's literally just old lift logic, but for the new one, it's quite basic. Like, too basic. However, I prefer European generics. Maybe American or others. Looks like they slap shit on. Quite scary, but I press. What is mod logic, or whatever people call? It's like all these gentle call stations from Europe, but here it's like probably Chinese autos, but I think some people have seen those buttons in the UK. Or it's not from what I hear of. I mean, yeah. It's an autism mod. It's like they use those fixtures for modernizations exclusively. I mean, yeah. This one is actually an excellent one. Don't know what's this, but maybe it used to be on. Fully original Hitachis. Quite epic, not gonna lie. Here it is. Yay! Fucking epic. 10F. Can't push this, but you can push this. It's like the B one is the odd duck one, kind of. The cage is quite nice, my favorite. The cab is basic, but I still like this lift, no matter any circumstances. There we go. Yay, Otis Linked lift. Looks like it could be modernized. Don't know if it's original. Except amazing cab. Like seriously, who else said? But I'm in Kuwait. All this Atlantic. Wow, 90-degree layout. Why am I laughing at the lift? This looks like it's probably modernized. Knowing it does. Oh, what is it supposed to be? Like seriously, this is an actual Otis Atlantic. Yeah, with seats on fixtures. That's capacity. Oh, I'm not talking. Same building, but a completely different lift. Yay! And now the modernized one. My guess it would be a Schindler it used to be, but now it's modernized to another fucking generic. I think this one was something else indicator. Now if the original logic is kept or what. But I guess sometimes they just left on fixtures and call it a day. A lot of times they just replace the logic. And I don't know what brand are those buttons. It has called cancel. Probably they replaced the logic. I'm not even kicking it, just testing the sensor. It's like, yeah, it works. Slow doors. How to call old lift? Just kidding. A funny generic. And it's out of service. Or is it? Maybe it is. Yeah. Another Hitachi. Another blowing cab, always what I think something else. Made in Thailand. Close the fucking door. It's a fucking Hitachi. Yay! Probably fair to don't know. Not expecting this, even though I filmed them. Probably won't move. Let's got the door open. Actually, if you don't get that joke, it's probably meant go up. Man. TR. Terrence. 26 floors of epic sex. Epic. Can't believe if I get busted or not. How much was it now? I don't predict the fucking future. Close the fucking doors. And we get an epic lift adventure. Yeah, Hitachis are great, but sometimes when you see too much of them, they get boring. Sadly, that's a fact. But if they were rare, then that means it would be fun to find one. But if you ride those lifts too many times, then you'll eventually get bored of it. That's the problem with this. If you watch the children series are very common, then you'll get bored of them. So yeah, talking about my TED Talk. Let's see how the tenants look like. Wow, so that's what the terrace is. They're scared that people will enter the office by the lift, so they had to do that. Anyways, that was fun. Guess what it is? Of course. Mission 5100. The Europeans back. Taking this one. Why does it smell beautiful? Wow, European Schindler in Kuwait. Again. Had to be careful. This time it's a 5400, I guess. The cap is quite... has an interesting shape. But overall, I think it's okay. I mean, yeah, it's my third lift in Kuwait that uses Eurolift fixtures. Or 3 MXB. Not Eurolift. Eurolift is... they have the same buttons with different indicator. Gee. Sounds like it has an epic motor. Maybe if the original lift got modded or not. Not sure, but it feels like that I'm riding in a modded lift. So maybe it won't be a 5400. It's something else. Or maybe they just replace the motor and call it a day. Nice logic. And I did not work it. This button I've seen before. Tree MGF? Yeah, quite weird. It smells like fucking shit. Oh, what band is this? What band it used to be, I mean? Fuck. Huh? What the fuck? Zero. Oh, it has a fucked up logic. Oh, it's a zero. Had to fix my shoe. Probably later. Hell's with the cap. It's like I don't really care about anything. Like, I don't know what's that supposed to be. They finally work. Those DMG. What? This is Kuwait. Why is it in German? And this is a cap city. Or is it actually a real one? Wow, fully glass. No way. Polenberg. Albig. But this in German? That doesn't make sense. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with this essence or lift wherever the fucking wrong? Man, it gets real empty when we get to the 6th floor. It's even in German. I look on the shits and giggles. Like literally. Fully MIL. Exposed shaft. And machine room. Like literally, this is in Arabic. This mall probably opened up. Like now the lift works for real. How about that one, I guess? And this warehouse search was up those had to jump. Yes, 7 is still closed. What would they have to do else? But quite very high. Even higher than the avenues. Even higher than Al-Kout. And finally, this is probably the tallest mall in Kuwait. So what is this supposed to be? Running? Fitness? Whatever. It also makes sense a lot. So this is our last cinema. Floor 6 is the highest as we can go. It's like I filmed this last year or so. And back then you can only go up to 3. Now you can go up to 6. This is where the Hitachis are. And apparently they are MRLs. And this is the food court probably. Asima Mall Track. Oh, so that was that. And a fucking vending machine. Wow. For the mile. This feels like they installed this and tap it on. What am I gonna take? The roads are quite extremely busy. Maybe that's a camera. They're like, let's move in. Let's start. Exposed lift shaft. That one's moving down. Oh yeah, I need to wait for that. Oh, that. It looks like it's stuck at floor 2 always. Oh, now a tree. This one's probably going down. 2 counterweights, I guess. It's like it doesn't even work. Looks like I'm being forced to take the fucking escalators. It's like this call station doesn't do anything and I have to wait for extremely long periods of time. Exposed car lift that is probably locked off or turned off. Yeah, most of these buildings have car lifts in Kuwait. Schindler. on the modernization that is. This is probably modded and fucking unsafe. Way too unsafe for the such lifts. And they're probably going to be very good of lifts again. But this time it's fully unlocked. Car lift, fully unlocked. Wow, the way how to explain mine is quite weird. This gives me like, I don't know if this is Greek or Italian, but they use the MJ buttons. Yep, a fucking Greek generic. My first. Why does this look like Delius? I guess everyone knows Delius elevators. So hopefully that's why I mentioned. There's no inner doors. Like, what the hell is that? Fucking unsafe. But they don't care because this is a fucking car elevator. Hey, Hyundai. No voices. Fucking disappointing. My first Hyundai that looks like that. This lift has chains and button beeps, but no voice announcements. The cab is probably under renovation. The reason why it looks like that is because who fucking cares about the cab? I don't. I mean, it's a nice Hyundai. I don't know what I call that, but it's probably have machine room and instruction MR. I think this might be Chinese, but it feels like I'm in a lift from Korea. This is a hydraulic freight lift. Whoops. What the fuck did I just do? Oh fuck, I pressed the alarm button by accident. The door labels are in Turkish apparently. This is Japan's best lift. My ass, this is fucking Chinese generic. How could you put the label as, how can you fucking label it as a Japanese lift when it's literally made out of full Chinese generic parts? Monarch control. Indicator that looks like they want to copy autos, CG autos, like it looks so similar. Like literally, this isn't even Japanese. Only the name is Japanese. Probably I would not like this lift. Aoyama, my least favorite lift company. In terms of advertising, Amara sounds like. Hey guys, today I'm doing a vlog here. It's to try my best without kissing it. But why do they do this buttons? This is fucking slap on. Swing door. No in the doors. I mean, who cares? This smells like shit anyways. They probably modded the swing door lifts. This ain't even. Hitachi computer control? Holy shit. Yeah, film on with such buttons. So, and the indicator is probably dot matrix instead of this analog one. Man, maintain my TKE, which is ThyssenKrupp. Cap is my least favorite, but this lift overall is quite nice. It's not like you get this every day, because most Hitachis, they're probably made in Thailand with red dot matrix, and you know, mostly A91 or something like that. Yeah, the circular black buttons that the label only lids. Right, it's fine. Wow. Epic and shit at the same time, but it's probably an epic more than shit. I mean, it looks shit a little bit by the cameras. Swing doors. Accessibility would hate this. Least accessible entrance, like the lift. Welcome. Fan. Wow, they just slap on the logic and call it a fucking day. And with those Hindi texts, are fully out of the country, even though it's majority are foreigners and some not foreign. 4 floors. Probably because it's half layout. It's like they should be 2.5, 3.5, 1.5, 0.5, such like that. But they just label it like this because I guess they cannot do the 0.5 thingy. Here we are. The fucking. Let's get the fuck out of here. Ah, hell no. Oh, Sigma. But it's the Chinese edition, I think. I prefer the Korean ones. $630 kilogram 8 person. Yeah, upper Chinese. Sigma is probably the Otis, but the Korean versions. In Korea, they call this Otis. Like there's no such thing as Sigma, even though this is literally imported Korean Otis. And outside of Korea, similar types to this are called Sigma. And there's no chain. It's different now. Trees don't because it links directly to Sigma. Yeah, I see enough material. The other one was in German, but this one is completely in English. Amazing. Probably one of my favorite lifts. Only rotten label lights up. That's cool. Console, yeah. Touch. Like seriously? It's legit real. Don't know what this is supposed to be, but it's like 4 indicators. One on the touch panel and one on the overhead indicator. "42 looks fucking empty. Not gonna lie. But I kinda like this cab. Quite posh. Probably my favorite. Oh shit, had to stop. Posh. Otis 2000 BF 30% 1000 kilowatts. Man, this looks fucking posh. You haven't just button layout. Oh, what the fuck's? Oh, now it's working. MC1. I mean, yeah. My favorite thing is probably the cab. Shit. The fuck it happened? This stuff is weird. Back to G. Don't know what this button does, but it's actually a fake one. It's like there's fake and real buttons. But still, in my opinion, this button layout is quite interesting. It's like probably meant for mid or high rise, I guess. Probably my first time that lift has this layout in Kuwait. Great, that's interesting lift. Optics. Actual sensors. Looks like they modded. What is your sister? Yep, definitely modded. See. Looks saucy. Even they added stuff. Oh shit, quite busy. Audix. Modded in like 2012. Don't know what it used to be. But I guess I don't know if the cab's original or not. But hey, it still looks nice. This is actually touch. Optics. Which one's actually like? It looks nice. It's fully glass. Hope it's actually fully glass. One in Kuwait? Yes. There's one in Kuwait. No voice. So digital segment in the inside and dot matrix on the outside. Is it just me or did they modern old lift? Capacity. Close the fucking doors because this lift is meh. It's actually gas. For real. Indicator acts like on for some odd reason. Don't know why. Has leveling. Guess what lift it is? Finally! Siam! From Italy? Holy shit. Of course maintained by Jasim Club. Made in Italy. Indicator looks fucked up. Optics. It's jamming for like 5 times. That's what the fuck? This lift has fucking issues. My least favorite. Like, this lift has fucking issues. Lift with fucking issues. What will go on? This feels like I'm playing a horror game in real life. In my opinion, this is probably very unreliable. This one it is. I guess this lift was modernized. It wasn't even original. at least this one was probably better. In my opinion, this might be the worst tortoise I've ever worn in terms of white quality. It's like they did a shit job at making it work fine. Hasn't changed. The hell's wrong with Siam? Saying lift, but this time without stream and the fan cannot be turned off. Oops, I meant to do it. The alarm sounds like a bell. It's quite flimsy, but I guess this is what an Italian lift company mods lifts. Looks like they either use DMG or something else. Weird indicator placement. Justified because they cannot fit the indicators there. And the ceiling's too fucking low. Except doesn't actually work. What the fuck? Guess a car lift's probably not an actual one, but a fake one. Quite disappointing. What is in Iraq? First we start with Iraq. Head to 8. There's flow down. Man, this is generic. No capacity. All they did was just slap a panel and call it a day. Man, they're quite hard for identification. Huh? Even there's floor 9, which is marked as down hour. You can call cancel, which is actually nice. So that's the dot matrix. 8, 9. Let's see how it is, shit levels. Looks like we're at the last floor. Had to go one floor down so I can head to the old decks, generic 2. Bottom beams are quite loud. So you have 3 lifts, a generic, and 2 vortices. It's quite strange to see how the 2 types of lifts in one building. Probably modernization. Probably the song was probably modded before this, or the opposite happens. And yep, modded. Oh, this Gen 2. This looks fucking slap on. Yep, it's probably used to be an Otis before it got modded by an Otis again. Or maybe something else happened. Or maybe this one was newly installed. However, this building looks new, so it's old, so it's probably modded in 2015. Let's get shit out of here. It's got to be interesting. Shit. Wow, this reminds me of French Gen 2, like French Otises. still has a building on. I mean, yeah, it's they don't even put a capacity. So, oh yeah, there's a capacity. 6%. 6%. 150 kilogram. The cap's so fucking basic. And the outside is ELD, while on the inside is something else. Fully original Hitachis. You can't press this, but you can press this. Wow. Computer control. This looks nice in my opinion. Fucking nice. Has anti-nuisance, I guess. Are you ready to go? Why am I addicted to Yaaqoub songs? I mean, yes, Yaaqoub is my favorite game. It's like this. It's like they're so damn addicting. But still, this looks nice. Thought I get the generic, but I got something else. Finally, not generic. The destination is badge. Lift? The old shit. My favorite. My iconic tent. The fuck is that smell? Smells like gas. Petrol. Lift is under camera surveillance. Couldn't care about that. 10% care about 30%. 19F. Total Tijaria only had iconic 10, but I guess this one has. Wow. My favorite, I guess. I don't know if this is 500p or 700p, or maybe 5000 in general. Guess you're afraid of the floor 13. Why are people scared of floor 13? Don't really get how the floor numbers are labeled. On there. Holy shit! Probably just Pilak. Fucking corner. Mini space. Okay, it says 600 fixtures or 500. 620 or 520, whatever the fuck that is. Maybe I'll take the portrait and see which ones are different. Wow. Got fast forward this capacity. And man, the cap's so nice. Epic shit. Just got lucky. Wow. Wow. The hell? It's like the waterproof at that floor. It's like I want to take the super duper sexy glass lift. What's wrong with the glass lifts? They're out further. Many spaces confirmed. Oh, hell no. Epic chains, I guess. With Ecodesk motor, head is 27F. Kuwait is a very nice country, I guess. Like, those lifts are actually nice. It's like they are my favorite. Yep, I guess the glass lifts do not work. Maybe there might be a service lift. And that wasn't wrong. There's actually a service lift or fireman's lift. Tucked away here. Yep. How about that? Corner, my favorite. Corner mini space, of course. Quite dark. This lift actually works. This lift actually works. It actually works. But still, it's taking like millions of years. Sadly, the glass lift doesn't work, but I guess this one does as well. Ah, fuck. S for street. Man, the cab looks hooked up. Like, seriously, this is the dirtiest shit I've ever saw. Cabs is even bigger. I hope they actually call a Polaris or destination instead of this, but I guess I'll stick to that. It's the best place to sing Dammy Dammy. Just kidding. It's a lift. What do you expect? And why am I talking to myself? Well, I guess this one is either a transit or a mini space. Flores. What does that mean? Better find out. Yep, literally. Flores. Like for real. Man, this shit's real. Good. Why, I've had to go work for more shits. Not clickbait. Even more schindlers. Series. Either at 500p, 700p, or 7,000. Doesn't matter which. Ah, hell no. They're afraid of the floor 13. I hate people who are 13 phobic, or whatever they call it. Besides, this lift is actually nice. What do you expect? It's a Schindler. Quality from Sweden. The capacity looks like it's about to be wiped off. But my space would be 6,000 kilograms or 8,000 in mine. Who cares about the capacity? I could just say, I don't know what the fuck the capacity is about. The hell's that? Oh yeah, Olympics. It looks like they have Ultra Series 1 chain. Mountain snake, you know? This looks like a person. And what the hell's that door sound? I hate how the buttons are layouted. The button layout makes me nauseous. How quickly they modded the lift? I wonder what was that. This one still works. What is mod logic? Or this is what people call probably modernization stuff. I know it's not actually autism mod logic, but people like to call that because they like to make things up. And we thought they were real terms until we realized that they're actually fakes. Looks like it's taken 9 trillion years. And here it is, finally. Indicator doesn't work, and yeah, it's a service lift. Of course, modernize. This time it's that capacity. 26 person, and of course 2000 kilograms. Sapiens, but they wounded on the inside. Oh hell no! What the fuck, man? I thought it's a Sapien, but they wounded. All they did was just replace the logic and call it a fucking day. Now they're thinking, what the fuck did they just drunk? Ah, hell no. Like seriously, this is probably lazy. All they did was replace the cap and the fixtures and call it a fucking day. Like seriously, they called this a fucking day. And all they did was slap their own parts. And they left the indicator, I guess. Well, outside, it's fully original. Inside, they replaced the calibrating panel, but they thankfully left the indicator. Like, if this is actually wrong, it's like, mods here feel cheap, others feel not cheap. Like shit's like that. Like yeah, the cap may be posh, however, it's just lazily done. It's like they do it without passion. Holy shit, when would they get a job and stuff? Oh wait, they already have a job, but there's a problem with them not being able to install quality lifts. But that's probably just me. I don't know how to refer to it. What's the fuck? Lift going down. Door closing. Ah, hell no. Poopler. Anyways, finally. Once again.
Floor -1. Doors opening. Doors closing. Lift going up.
Voice. Man, the voice feels quite busted, even though it sounds like a British Tonight voice.
Fourth floor. Doors opening. Lift going down.
Shanghai Step.
Doors closing.
Those dupla lifts get really cheap, despite the fact they're from Greece. I thought they were going to use something else instead of Shanghai Step. But they use it.
Third floor. Doors opening. Doors closing. Lift going down.
The lift logic has issues. It's quite cheap.
Second floor. Doors opening. Doors closing. Lift going down.
It's like the logic's quite cheap. May look like an Otis, but it's actually not Otis.
First floor. Doors opening. Lift going down. Doors closing. Floor 0. Doors opening.
This parking garage at Duplas now used to be something else, judging by this. But now they made it into a fucking Dupla. Hi. Let's pretend this isn't an issue. Nostalgic feels like we're in Pakistan even though we're actually in Kuwait. Like seriously, this is Kuwait to me and you. Of course, because it actually is. Let's walk. Like civilized people, I guess. Looks posh. Hitachi? Wow, this Hitachi is fucking nice. Like seriously, it's fucking nice. Yeah, of course. It feels like it's a Japanese lift, even though I'm in Kuwait. Like seriously, that's actually nice as heck. Oh fuck, whatever the fuck you say. Let's see for Sabians. That of course doesn't work. Wow. What do I get? Nothing. Looks like they placed something under the bridge. Impressive, wow. Hitachis. B3, B3, B3. Now it's a G. Wow, but skips B2 and B1. Wow. They covered cap with this? The fuck's going on? Of course. They even covered capacity. All I know is that, oh wait, 18 person, 13, 50 kilogram. Not worth going to Beijing. Wow. Mezzanine. Match skip reception. Epic Hitachis. So I have it down. Actually, nice teams. Lift 7 and 10. One's here. I'll be careful because there will be people. Thank for our talk. And people. Nice high-rise Hitachis from Thailand. At least this is 13th floor. Very posh cab. So that's why they're keeping us. And nice chains. Capacity is the same as on. I'll be careful of that. So that's the service lift with fucked up cab. Like, they ruined this cab. Looks industrial, and they ruined the cab, I guess. Lift at National Geographic. Looks fucking posh. Hope no one caught me. Filming. Looks posh. Hope I can get caught on that shit. Nice lifts. And here it is. Still works as a charm. You have to call a number just to use a fucking lift? Wow. This lift is getting modernized. Sad. Call station's already replaced. Oh no. Probably not good after. It is. Wow, Schindler modded an old lift. Yay. VIMXB. This is when Schindler mods a lift. It feels like Schindler modded a lift. Modded in like 2011. 2011. Capacity is like 6 to the kilogram a person. Cab's quite boring. Don't know why. What the fuck is wrong with this? Oh yeah, here it is. No, suspicious.
Going down.
Wow, Hyundai. I think they modded the Schindler. Oh, is that original? Who cares? Fuck. It's supposed to be a Schindler or something else. Feels like Schindler. Hopefully not something else. Wow. This series. Wow, 16 tall. Wait, some post offices with no coffee. What the hell is with this? It looks like a weird mashup of lifts. This clearly has to be originally Schindler, but they slapped an iconic 10, I guess. I guess that it either had M series or R series buttons back then, and now they've managed to upgrade it with this. It's quite unexpected to see another lift in Kuwait that uses iconic 10s. Besides, it feels like that they modded a lift. Floor -1 above 0? What the fuck? Does this publicly exposed car lift work? My answer is probably no. It doesn't work. The episode of Does this work? No. This is just a newly renovated building, and it's not Chinese authors. They got so popular to this day. So Chinese authors, gentles, I believe. Wow, they have to show off how posh they are by making everything so merry. So merry as fuck. Yay, actual basement. B for no bitches. Why is my humor unfunny? It literally is. Indicators of our time. SDN LCD, 13%, 1000 kilogram. I should really stop talking a lot in these videos. Wow, Kuwait is really boring. They try so hard to be posh. In my opinion, they're a little bit better than Kuwaiti generics sometimes. But still, I hate the Chinese government. And I'm going to say this in YouTube because it's operated by America. And America does not censor anything that criticizes the Chinese government. But they listen to the Israeli government because they occupied Palestine and Israel. They hate Palestinians, so they try to manipulate you know, US sites to remove Palestinian content, even if it doesn't break the rules. They hate Russia for invading Ukraine, yet they praise Israel for invading Palestine. What hypocrites are they? Or does this remind me of Turkey a little bit? Like, this feels like a Turkish generic, more than a Kuwait one. There's such possibility. Oh, it's fucking heavy. Nice car! And the buttons, they look like fake segments. Who even puts a door open button in a lift that does not have an inside door? Bro, what the fuck? It feels empty, but they have the Mitsubishi. Let's call cancel. Wow, epic Mitsu. Happy again for no practical reason too.
Please press the button for the desired floor.
Fuck it, stop doing this, but finally dearest. Actually, no, escape here. Screw that. It's a ThyssenKrupp as well. Escape here buttons. I thought they were deers, but I was fucking wrong. It was something else. Maybe a ThyssenKrupp that more than know the lift is himself. Oh, even takes 9 million years to start up, I guess. I might end up at the mezzanine floor for some odd reason. They even think the first floor is the exit floor, yet it's wrong. I literally entered on the mezzanine. Like, what the fuck? It's like the lift labeling's on crisis. I thought I was at the ground floor when I realized I went to the mezzanine. Maintained by TKE, because it's actually a ThyssenKrupp. ThyssenKrupp maintaining their very own lift. Imagine that. Call cancel does not exist. Looks like Greek generic to me, even though it actually is made in Germany. Close. Wonder what lift used to be. Who knows? It's a Schindler. Fuck. Or dicks. But it's not originally Odex. Something else. Floor M. And no capacity, yay. So floor M is -1? What the fuck? Second time I'm seeing it. what this is, but I guess this might be a C-beam or something else. Maybe an Awana, I guess. But the direction lamps do not even work. I think this probably might be a selfie, or why the fuck do I make wrong guesses about the lifts? Anyways, who fucking cares, because I'm at the 0 floor and I had to stop recording. Wow, they don't work anymore. That's sad. That got to be nice. This is like a regular Hitachi on the outside. On the inside gets even better. CCTV's watch me.
Going down. Ground floor.
Cool. No way. 10 years in the joint. It made everyone a fucking pussy. I know, right? Yeah, you know. Everyone knows that Nishki can make everyone into a fucking pussy because they stay 10 years in the joint. It's like if you spend 10 years in the joint, you are a fucking pussy. You know that? Like seriously, Nishki will tell me that. Like, I'm literally serious. No way. Not clickbait. The hell no. The cops. Okay, this gets too weird. First, you take the Sigma. Wow. I guess this is a fully Korean one. Touch. Nope, that's an LG. This is push and that's touch. Yes, it's fully Korean. And has an epic motor. Wow, Korean lifts are quite nice. And this one's from the 90s. At least it's better than Sigma, which is always the fake Korean stuff. This one's probably the real Korean shit. Basement is sadly locked. And that's in a walnut. Wow. Goes to S. Two lifts here. LG and Awana. Fan is always on no matter what. Wow, it feels great. Smells like kind of shit, not gonna lie. Wow, original Otis. Why is this made in the year 2000? Yes, it's a regular 2000. Oh, it's a 2000E. The segment indicator. The indicator 7th segment is capacity from 1997. Floor M is written as H because it's 7th segment. The cab is quite interesting. Is it like supposed to be this color or brown? No. Anyways, the only light is basically the panel light. Only the open button because I guess it all is old when it's like that. Kuwait has interesting lifts, of course. I don't know if the speed is like 1 meters per second, but I guess it is quite tall for a 2000E. Wow, has this texture for the fluorescent lights. The panel is like made out of glass, yeah? Indicators, like sometimes it will get hard to read because this is how those all these LCD indicators work. The SD and LCD. See, the exposed car lift. It's locked. Looks like either some Greek generic or whatever. Not bothering to write this. Ew. Wow, Fuji. 29 floors of sex. Hope I did not get caught here. Made in China. Sure, they're not nice, but at least they're better than Kuwaiti generics, in my opinion. F and Fuji. I guess they make actually high-rise lifts with generic logic. Indicators have different logic. It's like this one is just this. It's like they have different characters. It feels like that this may use monarch control or something like Shanghai step parts. Who knows? I wonder what fixtures they use. I think that could be also fake Taiwanese or stuff. But I guess Fuji's a Chinese company trying to imitate Japanese ones. We are G. Trying to stop recording. And stuff. Yes, the basement is fucking empty. Guess they even probably modern an old lift. FIMXB. Yeah. You can even still select basement even though there's no label to it for some odd reason. It goes even up to 16 floors. Has a shopping mall. And it's also publicly exposed. No concierge stuff. I believe this used to be a Schindler, but it got modded by, of course, a Schindler. And probably those fixtures are mostly used for modernization. Sometimes I see original lifts with this fixture, but a different indicator, but it happens that I found lifts with this fixture that are modernized from old lifts. Even there's an old Schindler that got modded with my Conic 10. Holy shit, new owner. Actually, oh yeah, it's technically the new owner. Or maybe they modded an old one. Fan doesn't even work. Huh? The hell's happened? Wow, Hitachi lifts, I guess. Or is that something else? Which ones? Yeah, the one. Yes, you have 3 doors. Oh wow. Is that even Hitachi or not? Even though it actually looks like Hitachi, and the door close button doesn't even work. No way. Guess this is supposed to be a segment indicator. My guess would be either Hitachi. Oh wow, it prioritizes up direction because... Oh yeah, it's working, but the indicator's just fucked up. I could only show start one. Wow, unmaintained Hitachi, like the caps really that polished, but the indicators doesn't even work. Had to stop the car. Looks like they got modded. The fuck is wrong with the chain? Like seriously, the chain sounds busted as fuck. No wonder why I'm saying fuck millions of times. No way. Optics? Huh? Why can't I go to girlfriend floor? Oh wait, antivirus mode. I'm such a fucking idiot. I hope I don't get questioned by the building. Sure, because they say, oh no, why are you taking pictures of our lifts? And if this is private property, then why is it enterable? Why doesn't it say it's private property? And why are there millions of offices here? No way. The chain also sucks ass. It's like it sounds busted as fuck. Because of the place right here immediately. Yay, owner. More than old lift. Wow, the logic seems busted. Modernization of an old lift. Confirmed, that's anti-verbals. Who knows? Looks like they modded an old lift, I know. Maybe I said that. Maybe I did another cap view. I'd look all the one and it doesn't even show a capacity. I mean, that's not actually an old one. Well, who knows what brand? Don't know. Guess it in the comments, I guess. Yep, it has multi-floor select. Then we'll replace the logic, I guess. Cool, original. Hitachi. Computer control again. No way, it's actual computer control. Yes, I can even use my phone to press the buttons. Like literally. Here? Like literally, I never even used my hands to press buttons. Something. I guess some lift filmer from Singapore might probably not even show his entire body. And he's famous for that, I guess. I'm gonna leave. What takes? He's locked. Or just modded an old lift. What do you expect? Modded in 2014, I guess. Why am I having fully European? So basically, one person is like 100 kilograms here. That's interesting. Basically, like every 100 kilograms is one person. Normally, 1,000 kilograms would be 10. Hopefully this is original. Shit. Oh yeah, Samantha says. Hope this is modernized on the inside. I was actually right. Kuwaiti Unix. All they did was replace the fixture panel and call it a day. $450 kilograms. A sensor or elevator, whatever the fuck you call. And the analog indicator doesn't work. Oh. This looks interesting. Old versus new. Wonder what it is. Chinese generic or Kuwaiti generic? Who knows? Wow, it's a posh one. And finally, it's the one that has actual TFT LCD indicator. Campus Mary. It looks nice. Yeah, Shanghai step. Really nice. Like literally. This is what they call nice. It feels quite generic in my opinion. Wonder if this is capacity or not, but there's no capacity at all in such a they say this is original, but they're wrong. This is in fact quite modded. The outside is original, yeah. But the inside tells a different story. As you can see, the outside is completely original and it's a fucking generic on the inside. Wow. Wonder what brand they made this type of indicator. Logic's original, but they slapped this on and call it a fucking day. No way. A Kuwaiti generic lift typically has an indicator on the ground floor and on the inside, but not on the other floors. One of the buttons they like to abuse is this one. Along with that, there are many other fixtures that they can use. And this lift feels so weird because they just slap on an old lift, and I guess they never even replaced the logic, but added multi-floor logic. Or maybe they replaced it. Finally, for something different. Get this type of lift small there. Wow. Wonder what fixtures it. My guess would be Scafe or stuff like that. Too posh for a generic lift. Like, what do you expect of such generic lifts in Kuwait? They're too posh. However, the fixtures are kinda old-fashioned, I guess. Maybe this indicates I've seen it in my home. It has an hour, but it doesn't even work or like that. Yeah, that. Swing the lift. Fucking hell. Oh. Any matter? Huh? Not even capacity. Critical gold. No way, it's cold. Get the fuck out. Wow, how cool lift. It doesn't work. It's a Hyundai, of course. Doesn't work because the building's so fucking abandoned. Yep, a Hyundai, of course. Sadly, it's turned off because this building's permanently gone. What is my loyalties? They really love robust fixtures for such modernizations. Might be a Yopa. Has built-in beeps. Sad to see the original auto score. Now it's this. Let's get the fuck out of here. Of course, Hitachi's computer control. Yes. Computer control. For original. Love how the buttons feel. Lots of them great. Buttons are mostly green for some reason. Would make sense if only the ground floor button is green. I don't know. Stigma has called cancel. Prioritizing going down first. Shit chain. Wish there's a skip door opening sequence. Fuck it. Max. Notice. Of course it is. James really tame. Oh, I'm on the CCTV. Hope they did not get mad of me recording in the elevator. Buttons are clicky, of course. City. Oh yeah, I'm here. Oh. My tech is such a picture. Yeah. Even after 2 years, 2 to 3, even after 1 to 2 years, still works. This is my part 2. They always like to block the floor -1, which is actually the basement. I wonder what's that for? Basically, Mubaki is a shopping center. Without my face can be concealed easy. Annoying fan. Let's leave because they. Finally, my first dinner dog lived in Kuwait. Of course, by manual. As expected. They just slap on the panel and call it a day. Besides, it's my first indoor lift in Kuwait. Of course, stops. Keep it. Doesn't accept that. Has safety features. Of course. German generic molded by generic from Kuwait. That's the original. safe to avoid. Thankfully, it closed. Wow. Floor 3. Let's have to go GF. Man. I pressed this button. And it sends me to the second floor. What the fuck's wrong with this lift? I need to find out. Conclusion. Floor labeling's fucked. The way they put B is weird. Rest in peace, Joanna. And nothing has done. And nothing has been murdered. Took 9 million years to fucking level. And the way they made the panel is so weird. Like they slapped the indicator just on the panel. Why can't they slap it here? Are they fucking lazy? Don't know. Takes forever to level. I guess. Just get the fuck out of here. I think this was a Shilaiman. Modded to Otis. I thought I was expecting a crappy Kuwaiti neck. But it became this. Otis has modded this lift. Gen 2 ambience. That's a good mod for sure. I mean, series. Different types of chains. This used to have all series fixtures. Now it has Gen 2. They did something great, my opinion. I mean, some people do not like Otises. Yeah, that's fine if they don't like, but what? It's watering. Need to stop filming. I think this used to be an Otis. Guess they got modded. Sure. Publicly exposed the hold. It's literally so publicly exposed. And finally they placed the capacity. As always, it's always 6 person, 150 kilograms. Goes for my spot wheel. I like this type of it. Door close button doesn't even fucking work. Base, it's like in America, door close button doesn't even work if you don't ever care about that stuff. Why TV just running? Blue dot matrix. Not even about how this crop was gonna mobilize it. Because I was wrong. Got more license to that. What the fuck? Be careful. Oh, console overload. That's dangerous something. Maintained by TK. Wow, I wonder what it used to be. Maybe a German generic from what I probably could guess. Wearing a hoodie is fucking cool, babe. Finally got to ride it, but it's modded. Even 2 years, lifts change. The sleep touches are gone. It's cleaner time. With skiffy buttons and lease indicator. Installed by Fuji Lifts KW. I think the K-Down lives in Kuwait. Wrong. Why? Fuck. I never realized I stopped recording. That one's empty.
Doors closing. Doors closing.
Has voice.
Basement 2. Doors opening. Doors closing.
A shame that they got modded to Hitachis. I mean, they were Hitachis. Now Clemens. Should be careful. There's CCTV, I guess.
Second floor. Doors opening.
Contricted.
Doors closing.
Good opportunity recording the voices. Recently installed.
First floor. Doors opening.
TTS.
Doors closing.
Left text to speech. Text to speech voice. Yeah.
Ground floor. Doors open.
Original. Fully. Oh, what's this? My guess is VM, but I'm wrong. Yeah. Have to be careful because I'm filming. And it's empty. Wait a sec. I thought it was a VM. It's a Mitsubishi. notice. Yeah. Finally working direction light. Like I gave down. I guess they modded a notice, of course. Hell no, they modded a notice. I ordered you up. Ona. Modern day. Which one's the day mod life? No chains. And no voice. Guess someone who lives in Kuwait rarely have a voice. Same as ever. I fucked the bus. A TK Chinese edition. They didn't even bother moving the COVID stickers on the floor. Up is a 3-ton chain, down is only one. Man. Oh yeah, I changed my mind. Wow, it's actually great. Finally, a good Turkish generic. Looks so posh. Literally so fucking posh. And great. Should I even mop like this? Wow. Not great. Outside has a flow indicator, inside doesn't. Just fucking buttons. Schindler. How do you say that that this is a refurbishment? It is literally a refurbishment. The lift's original, excluding the fixtures. What the fuck? Oh, another generic. What's so worrying to you about it? Who cares? It's here. It was a Schindler. Finally, they had an indicator. Welcome to Real Toko Ishin gameplay demo. Wow. They are attracted over the welcome sign. Wow. All they did was slap the panel and call it a day. Let's see. So I want to be interesting. Finally, green! That's a fucking mirror. It's all one. I'm going to mislabel it as a Schindler, the E-Series lift, even though it isn't a Schindler, the E-Series lift. Just kidding. Like, what the fuck would I do that? Ayopa. And it works. Seeing sound fixtures. Last indicator. Actual dial. Yeah, it does work. It's still there. All they did was snap on shit and call it a day. The fuck was that? Siren alarm. Definitely an M series with stop on indicator. Doing something that shouldn't be a crime. Take a picture of an elevator. Of course, it's a corner. Can't I stick my pictures? I'm on space, of course. Didn't make it this much. It's gonna turn down. Someone's playing too much music. Here it comes. Of course, I can't. How original. And I'm serious. Who fucking thought having the door closed button not exist? Good idea. Yes, it's all the shits. Wow, a corner, fully original. Basement is stuck for some odd reason. Hey, I like that lift. Generic. Of course. You may think it's an Otis. No, it isn't an Otis. It's a Chinese looking generic. The hell's that? With Shanghai step buttons. No one would give a fuck if it's shit or not. But I think such buttons try to copy authors. Like seriously, this looks like they want to attempt to plagiarize author's design. Right, the public clinic is supposed to shop at the second floor. This logic is quite weird. It's supposed to be anti-nuisance shit. But hey, it works. Wonder what used to be. I doubt I find those in Kuwait because I bet they don't exist. Flat tech. There we go. Fucking fan. The close button doesn't really work a lot. Wait! Mine's fun. Maintenance. What the fuck? Still there. This time it's fucking small. And one button doesn't even work. Now on 2.5 zoom. Sponsored by iPhone from iPhone 12 Pro. Oh. Cool cap. It's them trying to be poor. I wonder what it used to be. If Chandler don't know. 7 p.m. Another gentle ambience. Different floor button beep. What is this good taste? Wow. Push button beeps. For Gen 2. Installed in 2020. Again, Kone really loves this in 2001. Mine's one you can visit, but they think covered with something makes it not accessible. Ah, my leg hurts. Oh look, lift that is recently installed. Go directly. It doesn't stop at either basement or first floor. Wait a sec. That's deja vu to me. It's glass. Glass. I can't keep some glass. It's right. It's glass. I don't know if that's Turkish pots or not. Who cares? Die. So about that. Go out the basement? Yeah, we can. Let's go up. This one, someone selected ground floor. Had to do a review quick because there's no more. Same shit as before. Koyo. Fuck. They are still here. Fully original. I don't know why, but it's still original. National elevators. Lots of people are playing Roblox, so that company existed, but it's actually different. National elevators in Kuwait. They use this sort of fixture which I believe it's made by Shanghai Step. I looked up in that outfit, but it actually isn't the original. Like this works. It's the map. Corner, still original. Even with that shitty ass van. Don't ban me out. Because right now I'm heading to the fucking car lot. Even calling relevant. Corner. It's called Social Place. What if it's inside or here? Nope. They fucked it up. What the fuck did they do? They fucked up a corner. What's the capacity? Cap's the same. Just got fucked. They seriously fucked it up. It's the original. Nothing has changed. Like seriously, nothing has fucking changed. The indicator may not work. You fucking piece of shit. Another European 2002. Let's sneeze because it's still, might end this video in case. Another lift not great. Damn, flashlights. Mirror everywhere. I could even see my own face in this lift. Mod. Finally, the door closed. Arrow flashes when it's moving. Let's show off how cool this hoodie is. I actually met my Arabic teacher here. It's like it's a small world. I haven't even talked to him, and we just suddenly met. Like it's a coincidence. Maybe cab lifts. I bet everyone hates that. And here we are, let's stop the recording. Still the same shit. All the way from Turkey. I guess. My legs hurt so much, but I'm still walking fine. Man, I'm filming a lift in Kuwait. I wear the hoodie because I thought it's so cool. That is. Wearing a hoodie sure is cool. You thought wearing one hoodie is bad? Fuck you. Let's wear two hoodies at the same time. Oh yeah, they fucked up the button positioning. Legit thought that was the second floor. Well, I guess it's wrong shit. Here we are. got modernized. Same shit, different fixtures, and same capacity. And same loud ass fan. What? Oh yeah, it's silent around. Look what the hell done to the corners. Modernized, but hey, at least it looks cool. Stuff from it. Nope, not Italian. It's Turkish. No call cancel. Call cancel is cancelled. Oh yeah, it's fucking gone. Let's get the fuck out of here. Cool. Those take millions of years to close and open, just like what it was like some couple of years ago. Who fucking some peace for you. Two flights lifts. Took snake and calling it up on fixtures. Let's try that first. Finally, it fucking works. The inside is fully original. Now we ride the Turkish generic. Same capacity because they just modded a corner. They modded a corner. I like this in my opinion. Has shit has changed but still looks nice. Even I also prefer the photo. Outside indicators tastefully replaced. Let's close the doors. Although that's good. That's cute. Yep. Completed. We're gonna take this shit.
This one up?
No, gone up. Look like my home lift buttons. Yes. The doors are rusty. Fuck. Lift's interesting. Siren alarm. That's fun, I guess. Abdulla to Malaysia. People sing Camerata Lullaby in the game Yaksa, but I don't sing it because I'm in a public space. Or a private one. Careful. Black satin, that's a joke. Rest in peace, Shaliman. Here we have a generic. Oh, my legs. I fucked them up. I did. What's this one? It's coming. It's like it's coming. Actually, yeah, isn't. I'm joking. Same as lift. Only change he did was modernize the Shaliman or Shindo. Original, finally. Here it is. That's right, it's fully original. They slap on the chain.
أنا بيجي لي تنازل تنازل ولا صعد؟
Fahad, I mean, frog. This one they mod to a generic. That's original, modded. Damn. My legs got fucked up after all of this. 2 types of lifts. One original, one modded. It is. One's empty. How about the B? For big balls. Same cab, but same opportunity to stop. What the fuck? Is this even Turkish or not? Kleeman maintained it. We're going down to the 3rd floor. Turkish generics. Lift has animated. Now that one works. Wait, deja vu? Is that deja vu? Since I've seen this indicator before. The basement's locked. behind me are some elevators. Okay, that's it's animated. Your mother left. Why am I singing? That's right, I'm going to get top of this building with a lift. Upside down umbrella. Those were the buttons. Yay, it accepts basements. Why are they so obsessed with siren bells? What's wrong? Lifts are in motorway. They pretend to be motorway, yet they ain't. Let's go to Overlord. Great, they don't give a shit. This is dialogue. Finally, it's not a siren. An airway shelter. Oh, it's never working. It just doesn't work. Finally it works. It works. Fucking works and it's golden. Huh? Yep. If logic's ass. When you press this, it's triggered also by touching that. Alarm doesn't even exist. That's weird. What are these series doing on that generic? Looks like was finished by accident. Alarm doesn't even work. So basic. Way. Too bad I'm not continuing. Bye, bitches.